Hi there, and welcome to another episode here on Glory, Glory England. Yes, these are the adventures of two managers who have the job of getting England through to the next round of the international competition that we're supposed to be playing in, and I've completely forgotten what we're doing. Oh, yes, it's the World Cup quarterfinals. Yes, and on today's show, we'll welcome back once again Guido Merry. Say hello, Guido, to everyone.
Hello, Guido, to everyone.
I knew you were going to do that. Yes, we're back here with Guido, and we've had a bit of a interesting little adventure with England in our last match against Lithuania.
Don't remind me.
We'll have to update people, right? We had this little slip up. Scotland are top of the table now. England second on the table. Unfortunately for us, we couldn't score any goals against Lithuania in England at Wembley Stadium.
I blame Harry Kane.
Okay, let's recap what happened that game. All right. I mean, this was incredible. We had 22 shots. This is totally what we call in the realm of we got FM'd, right? So we stood there. You created what looked like a reasonable, 3-5-3-4-3, I guess, and we got FM'd. Basically, that was it. Look, I mean, like your key pass combinations, you completely controlled the match. You were in their half. Look at this. You were in their half. Most of the time, Lithuania could barely string together anything of note. Possession numbers were off the charts for England compared to Lithuania.
I basically got the tactic spot on, but they couldn't put it away.
Yeah,
we couldn't score.
Yeah, but in all fairness to you tried your best, and this kind of shit does happen once in a while to everyone. I mean, if you're looking at just the shots on goal, that was a crazy amount of chances that fell to one player in particular. His name, let's not mention his name, but we have to for the sake of the show. It was none other than Harry Kane.
He had the best chances. He should have scored twice.
He had some very good chances. He had one chance if we look at the highlights, he had one chance right in front of the keeper.
My nan would have scored that, and she's dead.
Okay, so we've got it all to do right now. We are back in Wembley. I mean, I hope that. So what we did, I mean, normally I have another guest on the show, but we have to be fair to you as well. I mean, I just can't call another guest in. He comes in and he hammers Slovenia, and then we want to give you the chance
to redeem myself.
Exactly. So now you have the chance to redeem yourself, and you have decided to come up with a tactic you have aptly called Swarm.
It's basically the same tactic I used against Lithuania.
All right.
But I was not quite convinced that the wingbacks were helping out, so I pushed them on a bit into midfield, made them wide midfielders. Second reason for doing that was that the wingbacks were actually, tired. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't play them anyway, which reminds me I do need to make a few small personnel changes in the lineup.
Okay.
But I went for wide midfielders because they would contribute more offensively while not being so committed to attack that they will ignore wide threats. A wide midfielder, even on attack duty, will still drop back and help out defensively, and I'm not expecting Slovenia to play with all-out wingers, so there's no threat there. Plus, Jones and Smalling can shuffle wide to attack a winger because Stones is still in the center picking up a central threat if there is one.
All right. And why don't you run us through your choice? I mean, you've got a very intriguing choice in the middle, two ball-winning midfielders.
Yeah, the idea is basically that the wide midfielders will provide the width, while the advanced playmaker will sit in the hole and try to either launch the wingers or one of the two forwards. The two ball-winning midfielders, their idea is to help out with ball retention. One will play slightly further ahead of the other, but their idea is that they will just sweep up the ball, recycle possession, and just pass it back to the wide midfielders or to the advanced playmaker. And we can see how well we want to pin down Slovenia in their own half, and these guys are the key to making that happen.
Okay. I also noticed that. Okay, up top. Let's just look at your configuration up top. You got 3 players here. I mean, one of my favorite configurations is a trident attack, which features 3 players like this. You've gone for an attacking playmaker, a poacher, and a center forward on attack. You've got basically you've got 3 attacking duties, 5 attacking duties in your tactic. How do you foresee the three of them working together?
The idea is that the poacher, which will be Sturridge and not Kane, because Kane was actually tired, the poacher keeps the defensive line pinned back because he will play very far forward. He's the most advanced player on the pitch. He will keep the defensive line pinned back. The complete forwards will try to be creative or will try to dribble through, whereas the advanced playmaker will either try to launch the poacher, the complete forward, or try to get the wide midfielders involved. Let's see, tired. Maybe Ali out for Rooney, because it looks like Ali isn't entirely fit. 89% is a bit too low for my liking.
All right. So we've taken. Yeah.
Sorry. So and that. Oh, I can see Dyer is tired as well. Yeah. Ward-Prowse, and I'll swap Dyer in at halftime.
All right. So Ward-Prowse starts the game, and Dyer will come in the second half.
At halftime.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what about your center forward? What attributes were you looking for in your central forward to play that role?
Well, the poacher should most of all be a natural finisher, someone who scores easily and preferably has a bit of pace and positional awareness. Okay. My guess is Sturridge would not be suited to be a creative forward. Because a complete forward has to have some creativity and some flair to make shit happen. And where Sturridge isn't bad at it, I just think Rashford would be more suited to the role. And Sturridge has the pace to hurt the opposing team. Plus, well, I only have 3 forwards in the team: Sturridge, Rashford, and Kane. And Kane isn't entirely fit, so it's not like I have a lot of choice there. Or I could stick Shrek up there, but he lacks the pace at all.
But Kane is at 90%. He should be fine to start the game.
Yeah, but well,
you just don't want to use Kane.
Really, no, I'm not sold on Kane. If Rashford or Sturridge fail to perform, I can always bring him on in the second half. But let's make him feel he did something wrong. I'm a vindictive person.
Why did you just say it? I mean, like, okay, he played like shit in the last game. I don't want to play him in this game if I don't have a choice. Eh? Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to piss off any Spurs fans.
I mean, look, you're the manager right now of England. So, okay, what about your keeper at the back? Does he have any specific instructions? Oh, yes. You've got him to do few risky passes, distribute the fullbacks, and roll it out and slow pace down.
Yeah, just don't risk it by hoofing the ball forward. Just maintain possession. And because I don't expect Slovenia to play a high defensive line, I don't expect them to pressure our defense. So why engage them in some sort of aerial combat in midfield if we can just build up slowly? Right. Makes more sense to me.
So when you play a 3-4-1-2 like this, okay, so what are you looking at happening? Because I'm looking at your team instructions now. I'm gonna
same set as always, mate.
You never change your team instructions. It's always the same thing. It's like this is your play. What is your little thing? Is it you use like?
It's not. It's not like I never changed them, but can we add a setup that works?
Can we add a few more just to make sure that everything is green?
The sound just dropped out.
I was just wondering if we should add any more so that we can make it all green in color. Hello?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, okay. All right. I just was wondering if you wanted me to add any more play team instructions so we could add a few more green onto your screen.
Nah, I'm good with the 12 ones that I had. I think people are already calling me batshit crazy for having as many as I have.
Yeah, you are
So,
batshit crazy. This is a hell of a lot. I mean, look, dude.
but I'd like to remind you that this is the same setup that helped Gloucester win a Champions League trophy.
Yes, yes, true, true, true. That is very true. We shall not
So there is
forget
a
that.
method to this madness.
Yes, I totally understand. Anyway, before we get on to before we round things up, because I also wanna talk about what you've been doing with Strikerless.com. So has anything exciting been happening on your end with the show with
I've actually started a series called Inside My Mind, which, well, it does what it says on the tin. I take you through several matches, just show you how I tweak in game, why I tweak, what the effect is that I expect, what the effect is that happens, and I am not afraid to admit that I get it wrong at times.
Yeah, we all do.
And exactly, and I get it wrong at times, but I try to explain why I got it wrong and how I tried to fix it. And it's a series that has me managing the Hungarian national team during the 2052 or 2054 European Championships. I just covered all the group stage matches, which saw me draw 1-1 with the Czech Republic, 0-0 with Spain, and saw me beat Austria 1-0. So we're through to the second round, and we're taking on Romania in the second round. I've also done a piece on an article on set pieces. These are the same set pieces I've added in this lineup, which, well, again, it's not just a download link, but I try to explain why I did it, what I hope to achieve, and what the players are supposed to do on the pitch. And I've written an article about my cuckoo transfer market strategy, which is actually a pretty good idea for smaller clubs. If you can't develop talents because you lack the financial means or the academy, just pick up the talents from other clubs, especially the top clubs. Most of the time, the players in the reserve squads for top clubs, they develop nicely because they usually have the talent and they have excellent facilities and excellent coaches. But because they play reserve football, their reputation is low. So they're often released at 23, 24, but because they're not good enough for the absolute top. But for clubs slightly below that, these are excellent additions to the squad. And because of their low reputation, they're often willing to go to even small shitty clubs in small shitty leagues. The example I used was managing Lech Poznan in Poland, and I picked up a bunch of players from Dortmund Academy, from the Bayern Munich Academy, and won the Champions League. It took me 3 tries, but I won the Champions League with a Polish club consisting mostly of Germans.
Wow, that's so cool because it's one of those little things in the game where if you want to do well, you gotta find little niches of the game you can take advantage of.
And that's just one of them.
Yes, exactly. And I love this because I like to retrain players. You know, if I find a marketplace, if fullbacks are really expensive in the game, and I want to create $1 million fullback, all I do is I go out into the marketplace and I find a winger who has just the right attributes in the right places, and all I need to do is train to be a fullback, and the next thing we know, we sell him for like 50 million after he does really well. So all these little niches play a fantastic part in the game.
Same with the MLS. Players in the MLS development squads, basically their academy squads are transfer free. They don't have professional contracts, so you can snap them up for free. And I'm not saying every player in those squads is brilliant, but there tend to be diamonds in there, so it always pays off to just scout them and snap up the ones that are good.
Yeah,
And they're free, so you can take a gamble. Even if you sign 10, if 2 of them make it into first team, it was worth the investment, and otherwise you can always sell them back to the MLS clubs.
I didn't know that you were into youth development saves.
I'm actually into a lot of things, and I have to keep my long save fun.
Okay.
I've done youth development, but I've also done saves where I sign older players, like in their 30s, and just manage those, but just to show people the different aspects of playing the game and how that works and how you should be doing it and how you could be doing it. And yeah, I'm versatile.
You remind me of another player. What he does is he goes into the game, he finds really old players. I mean, they may even be 35 years old, but he doesn't care about the acceleration. He went to build a tactic, which was a 4-1-3-2, and he just wanted his Andre Pirlo. He went to look for the right player, and he found him really cheap. And his whole tactic revolved around a 35-year-old player who couldn't run but could string passes everywhere.
Exactly. If you have the right players, it can work. You need some pace somewhere in the team, but you don't need it everywhere.
Exactly. That is so true. Now, before we get it back into this tactic, there's something we forgot to take a look at. Opposition instructions. Oh, God. And wow, there's more. Wow. Okay, seriously, dude, this is the whole team. Wait, we have okay. No, okay.
Again, there's a method to the madness.
There's only 2 players you have not done OIs for: the AMCL and the AMCR, and the sweeper.
Yeah, most of the time because AI teams never use a sweeper, and I just saw
a game. I just was coaching a session with a game. We did a playthrough, and the tactic came out with a sweeper.
It hardly ever happens. Yeah. Same with 3 attacking midfielders or even 2.
Mm-hmm.
The AI barely ever does it, so I just left it out. And if they do it, I'll just give them the same treatment as the AMC. Now, basically, the idea here is to put pressure on the defensive players of Slovenia. The central players should be tackled hard with the intention that they don't have any time on the ball and just hoof the ball forward, where our ball-winning midfielders or our defenders can pick it up, recycle possession, and start a new build-up. The wide players are asked to be shown onto their weaker foot, just to hinder their crossing abilities. I don't close down the players in the attacking midfielder zone because that draws my team out of position in the defensive shape. I don't like that. If they go in hard, but otherwise just show them onto their weaker foot, let them cross, and I can let my 3 center backs deal with crosses coming in, which does mean they need to be close to the Slovenian forward or forwards, hence tight marking on the strikers. Don't go in hard on them because that might lead to penalties, and we don't like those. England and penalties, bad combination.
Anyway, I was just pulling your leg because in my 4-4-2, my opposition instructions are almost the same. I always close down all flank threats, and the back line is almost a routine of mine to close down this entire zone here when I'm playing a 4-4-2. And if I want to put pressure on the back line, the only players I make a decision on as to whether I'm going to close them down are usually the central midfield pairings, because I like to see who's the more attacking of the duo. And the tight marking of the front line. But the weaker foot is something I've been avoiding for the last couple of weeks. I mean, I do use it sometimes, but it's interesting how it works. I know opposition instructions work in the game, so it's cool to see that you're using it. You usually use it a lot. I noticed that as well.
Great minds and stuff like that.
Okay, one question I want to ask you before anything else. There is something that is at the back of my mind, and I'm worried about. You're playing on attacking. You're playing on very fluid. Your team is going to be a bit compressed. You're going for the compression.
That's right. I get what you're trying to say. Can you set the mentality back to normal?
Okay.
Because I get what you're saying. We are vulnerable on the flanks, and if they get it forward fast enough, they can really, really hurt us. So I get what you're saying, and this is something I've been toying about. And hearing you say it just makes me think, yeah, let's go for it. Let's drop back a few notches and not make the same mistake we made against Lithuania, smother them entirely, and restrict our own offensive space, because well, we'd be shooting in our own foot.
True.
That's the colloquialism, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess what you're trying to do, but still, it's again, very fluid is okay. I mean, in my personal opinion, right? This is my personal opinion. The more stratas I have, the more comfortable I am playing very fluid. The fewer stratas I have, the more uncomfortable I am playing very fluid. So in other words, if I'm playing like a flat 4-5-1, right? 4 in midfield, 5 in midfield, and one guy
It
up
has no
front.
use to play very fluid because there's no one to interchange with.
Exactly. I'll be freaking out because the team is so compact. A chip from the defender will probably go over my entire team, and then they'll be thrown goal. So I can see where you're coming from. Anyway, this looks pretty exciting, and I'm actually looking forward to our match against Slovenia. Do you have any final words about what we should be looking out for in that game?
Well, I can tell you what we're not looking out for: Harry Kane.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let's. I'm looking. I actually am looking forward to the game. Well, I want to thank all of you for joining us today, and I want to thank Guido. He'll be back, of course. We are just taking a short break, but for the purposes of ensuring that this doesn't become a 2-hour show, we want to split this show into 2 parts. So, once again, thank you for joining us on the show. If you have any questions, look us up on Twitter at Bustthenet or addictedtofm.com, my website. You can find Guido's website at strikerless.com. He does a lot of work on strikerless tactics, and for today's show, he's gone with a non-strikerless formation, which is very, very interesting. So I'll catch up with you guys again soon. You guys take care, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Bam.